Hoot.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Dark Roast. I am Donna Stroll, and I am here with the always lovely, talented Rose Short. And today's topic is going to be about mastering freebie monetization with your affiliate links. So basically, talking about taking those freebies, those things you build to try and get leads and everything else, and actually monetizing them with your links and how to do it appropriately.
Yes, this is probably my least favorite way, but it is very commonly used, and it can be very lucrative when done correctly.
Yeah. So, what are some of the reasons that you want to do that? Is obviously passive income potential, right? So, those links don't necessarily have to just be to a course or something like that. They can literally be to tools that you use or things like that. And so it can help keep it earning, right? And I'm going to talk about this later, but it doesn't just necessarily have to be a free ebook or a checklist or something like that. It can literally be a blog post or something like that that you're carrying it through. It obviously enhances the value of whatever you're putting out there, because if it's well placed, it can give your readers useful tools or resources, things that they're going to need that's going to help up their game. And it's no hard selling. I mean, if you're doing it right, it's not a hard sell. You're not pushing, you're just giving them a passive way to explore more and possibly buy more, right? So,
Absolutely. Yep. We kind of hit on it last week too, but 81% of brands are using affiliate marketing programs. 65% of affiliate marketers generate traffic through content marketing like ebooks and PDFs. And that's why I say like it is very valuable. The free 5-day challenges are kind of the same thing. You're getting a lot of value for free. And then, of course, there's going to be a sell at the end. The last day is going to be a sell because the value they've given is great, but there's so much more. And so the free 5-day challenge or free 3-day challenge is something you see a lot. And then, again, consumers are more likely to purchase based on a recommendation from someone they trust, right? And like we're seeing that on a massive scale right now of, there's a lot of companies that are losing trust and like with people. And so they're, watching the stock market right now is entertaining if you're not supporting them and probably terrifying if you do support them. But
yeah.
it's really powerful to see. So, knowing what consumers are looking for and having that know, like, and trust is super, super important. And that's why we talk about all the time, make sure you're actually using the stuff that you're affiliating for. That way you can give honest answers.
Yeah. And so, where do you actually place these links, right? So, you can have it as a resource section or a tools list. So like maybe you put together a list of your top 5 tools. Like I've done that with, my low to no cost tools list. And the reason, and that allows you to put links in, provide information about the products that you're talking about, and just give extra support to people who, so like even like say you're doing website design or something like that, you can pop in your links of tools and resources that you use that you have affiliate links for that allow them to, just utilize the tools that you have, why you have it, and obviously that also allows you to provide more information because you use them already. So why not affiliate and put that in there? And then, contextual recommendations. If you mention using a project management tool, then you just slip in your link, right? So, like, it might not be a tool list, it might just be something that you're discussing within your book or in your PDF or in your blog post or in your YouTube or whatever, and then you can slip that link in there. Um, Obviously, bonus offers and discounts. This happens a lot with UGC, right? So if you're providing content in that way, then obviously you can slip in a discount or, um, mention this notice. And there's a lot of ones that do that where they'll have a discount code or a 14-day free trial or things like that that you can put in there. And then obviously your clickable banners. your call out boxes, those kinds of things like, hey, wait, don't go yet. This is something else that you can do. Um, it's not as subtle, but it's another way that you can add that promotion. And you can do that whether it's on a link that you send them, like your freebie might be a web page. It doesn't necessarily have to be a downloadable item. I think that's where we get really confused, is that we always think it's a downloadable item, but it doesn't have to be, right? Like a webinar, a lot of times is a freebie, and it might be a masterclass, and it might only be like a 2-hour masterclass on one day, but there are links that you can provide, tools that you talk about, all those kinds of things. There's a puppy doing something back there.
Yeah, sorry.
Keeping you entertained. Yeah.
Always.
So those are some of the ways that you can slip those links in there, and and without being a pushy person.
Yeah, which we are all about, because we are not pushy salespeople.
No, we're not.
So a few ways that you can put this into action, of course, choose high relevance affiliate products, right? So again, make sure your content is all around the same theme and all makes sense. So don't do a video on a toothbrush when you're, promoting a freaking lawnmower. Stick to certain products and services that directly relate to the freebies topic. And then don't do this. We see this so many times with the new affiliate marketers. Don't overload with too many links, right? I did it in the beginning where I added like every link to my Facebook profile. And so like people look at my info and they're like, holy cow, that's a lot of links, right? Now I just kind of put everything in a link tree. So they go to my link tree and they can pick and choose, like, are you there for my Bones Coffee affiliation? Are you there for my BeFit affiliation? Maybe one will lead to the other, right? But I'm not overloading them in the beginning. And then make them natural and valuable, right? So instead of sending them to a home page, send them to a special offer or a feature page, something like that. The one I see all the time is sending them to a capture page. And a lot of people are going to just, like, you already have my email, I'm not doing this, right? So make sure, depending on, like, if you're sending out an offer in a newsletter, let's say, to, an email list, don't do a capture page. Just take it straight to the sales page, because the capture is whatever you put in the newsletter, right? Don't make them add themselves to another list over and over again. Nobody likes that.
Nope.
And then, of course, transparency. You'll see it in our YouTube description. Let them know that there are affiliate links, and if they use those links, you're going to get a commission at no extra cost to them, or you're going to get a discount, or like Imperfect Foods, like we talked about the other week. Credit to the account, but make that very, very clear. And then, of course, track performance. Build redirects is a great way to do that. Google Analytics, Pretty Links, Bitly is, I believe, lets you track as well. There's plenty of ways to track which links are bringing in traction and which links aren't. Absolutely use that. And then repurpose freebies into multiple formats, right? So if it's an ebook, like a 12-page ebook, do it as an audio as well, or YouTube video even, right? Because everyone consumes data differently. So make sure you're putting anything that you're putting out really into those multiple formats, so that the greater consumer base is there, depending on how they like to take in their data.
Yeah, and because you write an ebook, you put a lot of effort into that. You might as well utilize it. Now, you can even do it as social media by breaking it down into sections, all those kinds of things. And I think that people sometimes worry, oh, but then I'm giving away all the information that I'm already giving away. And it's like, keep forgetting that social media specifically goes by so fast that lots of people may have never seen anything of it, or they see it in bits and pieces. It's a puzzle, right? And what you're doing is putting the puzzle together for them. So that's a good way to, consolidate all that information, so they don't have to keep looking at a bunch of different things. And same with your blog posts and everything else, right? They might catch you here, but this gives them all that information in one space. And then it also gives you another opportunity to reach them and for them to reach you.
Yeah.
So where do you want to focus your energy for your best results? So email sequences, obviously, right? You can use automated follow-ups to nurture and reintroduce affiliate links that you may have put in your book, right? Or in your lead magnet. Lead magnet landing pages, you want to make sure that you're optimizing that download page with a really strong call to action, maybe an offer, like download it now and get something else in place. Or, if you click the link within, then you get an extra 10% off or whatever, you could optimize that. SEO, always, right? Making sure that even within your book, you want it SEO optimized, but if it's going to be a blog post or a web page or a webinar, make sure that your descriptions are SEO optimized so that they can be found, because you want it to be evergreen just as much as you want it to be passive. So, and then another one is Pinterest, which, people are sort of don't realize that it's still a thing. It's still actually pretty active, and it's not, and depending on what your niche is, it's going to be more active, but it's a way to share that information a little bit more. And you can do it by simply having the cover page of your ebook, and then a description. And then if somebody wants it, so if if you use something like Pinterest, it's interesting because Pinterest is one of those ones where it's more evergreen, because people are going there and it's not scrolling for them. I mean, yes, you're getting the images, but people look for things on there. They use it like a search engine all the time. In fact, when you use a search engine, you'll find that a lot of your stuff will actually be from Pinterest. So, don't discount it. Even if you're a male, it's actually functional.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, surprisingly, there's a lot of dog content on Pinterest, and our dog content does pretty well. And I never log into Pinterest. That's the funny thing, because I have Repurpose, which auto posts. So I probably need to be better at it. But a lot of our videos get saved on Pinterest. We don't get a whole lot of comments, but I think part of that is because the app, from what I've seen, is not the best at showing you your comments. It only shows you direct messages.
yeah.
But yeah, like, you'd be surprised at how vast the subject matter on Pinterest really is.
Yeah, and the thing about Pinterest is it's not really about interaction in the way that a lot of social media is, where you're trying to get engagement and that sort of stuff. The engagement that you get from Pinterest is people liking it, people saving it, and people clicking the links that are in it. So their interaction is a lot more hands off, in the sense that you don't have to have a lot of that face to face or direct contact. It's more about them appreciating what you're putting out there and then following the links and then doing things on their own, which, for people who are maybe less hands on, Pinterest might actually be a better place for you, just for simply that reason, right?
Yes. Very pro hands off.
It's not that we don't love you, it's that we don't want to have to hold your hand.
Yes. So, and then you can also turn your freebies into a funnel, right? Which is kind of what we talked about with, like, the 3-day challenges, 5-day challenges, stuff like that, right? So step one, like, let's go back to the ebook, right? That's a really easy one. So free ebook with your affiliate links, right? So they click on the link, they probably subscribe because, maybe this is off of social media. This is an existing email list. So they subscribe to your capture page. Well, now you have an email sequence where you can send them that offer. You can send them other offers. You can tell your story. You can connect a little bit more personally. Like, there's a whole, an email list is valuable if you're willing to put in the time and energy. And then step 3 from there would be the paid upsell. So maybe it's a mini course, maybe it's a workbook, maybe it's a consultation call. It could be a lot of different things. So, and you can do the same thing with, like, a YouTube video, right? Like, you have a YouTube video talking about something, they click on the link in the YouTube video, they subscribe to whatever it is. email follow-up, like it's the same kind of thing. So even if you're just using a basic affiliate link for a lot of products and courses, like they're going to be put on that person's email list. So the email list is a big part, but you can make online income without having an email list.
Yep. I mean, there are lots of people who are maybe 2-3 years in and doing well before they finally decide that they're going to add in an email marketing. And a lot of times by that time they have support that helps them to get to that space. There's a fellow that I follow on Threads where he talks a lot about just creating a small PDF, something like 28 pages, 28 to 40 pages. So it's a little bit bigger because you're going to sell it, but you're going to sell it for a low amount. And then utilizing that as a jumping off point. And he talks about how to really build that out, and it's not just any old ebook. He's like, he goes into a lot of information about it, but it's, again, the same concept where you've got your free or low cost thing that then you build out your links from there, and you can send links to other things and whatnot. And so that's how he's done that. And he does really well, and he's helped other people learn how to do that, and it works really well. So it's using this exact same concept of your freebie, whether it's a checklist or mini workbook or a challenge. And a challenge can be written as well. Like you can literally put together a book that has like a 30-day challenge. A lot of times wellness will do that. If you're in the wellness sphere, there'll be like a 30-day or a 2-week challenge where you can track your what you're doing and everything else as a freebie. And then there's links to your bigger thing, or products or services, depending on what it is you're doing. So
yeah. And the nice thing about it too is if you're using your content to get that lead magnet out and you've monetized your content, well, now you're making money off the video itself as well as people clicking. So this is where the whole multiple streams of income thing comes into play, right? You can use one to create another, essentially. And then you can repurpose that one across multiple platforms that monetize. And then all of a sudden you've got, $5 from Facebook and maybe $10 from YouTube. And maybe, I know TikTok pays, let's say like $4 from YouTube or from TikTok.
Threads also has a monetization as well.
Who does?
Threads.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so Threads. So if you start getting those little income streams from there, then all of a sudden, you're getting $50, $60, $70, $100 in your bank account just for making content. Then those sales start coming in, and now you're making, $30, $40, $50 there. And so it all kind of snowballs and it all ties together. And so that's one of the reasons that we always say, like, yeah, focusing on one platform is great, but you should still be posting across multiple platforms. Clapper is a new one I signed up for recently, and I've already made 5 cents just off of somebody gifting me something because they liked my video. So
I looked at that one. The only problem for that is it's iPhone related only.
I don't have an iPhone.
Well, when I went out, I said I couldn't download for
really.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, oh well, okay, iPhone only.
I mean, I'm Android and it's there, so I don't know what to tell you.
That's
I'm team Android all the way. I'd never go iPhone.
We're gonna get all the hate from all the.
I know, right? Sorry. And then Scoops is another new platform. I don't know if it's new, but another platform that you can tie it to your Facebook, and then like literally, I think any reels you post on your Facebook like go there as well. So it's kind of repurposing itself, which is nice. I haven't made money on that one, but I know it has a ability to monetize eventually. Clapper also has the function of you can create groups and you can put a fee for the group. Now, I'm not affiliated with Clapper, by the way. I'm not affiliated at all. But I kind of like their group function because, I can do a group for my ice bath stuff essentially, right? And then I can do, mantras there. I can do the workout challenges there. And then people are still, paying for that without having to, be sent to my landing page or anything like that. Like I can build out a secondary version basically of the ice wellness program, which is kind of cool. And then if, for whatever reason I lose my autoresponder, it's fine. I still have a way to, share that. So, or even for the dog training stuff. Like if I want to get more seriously into the dog training stuff, like the nitty gritty of actually training, I can make a group for that. and again, make money off the subscribers there. So those two are kind of cool. Like I said, Clapper I really, really like, and Clapper is also good for podcasts. So
Cool. So, I mean, it all comes around to you have your free, whatever it is, whether it's a 2-hour masterclass webinar, a 5-day challenge, your ebook, your checklist, whatever it is that you're putting out there, you put in your links. If it's an educational ebook, you're gonna, and you use specific tools, you can have that in there in the resources, that sort of thing. All of these are all driving to, your bigger things, your links to whatever you're affiliating. And the nice thing about it is you could have more than one link, within, as long as it's strategically placed and it correlates to what you're talking about. So that's evergreen, because you don't have to keep redoing that, rebranding that, right? You're just giving them the information, and then they have the links that they can go and follow through on. But it also gives you content, right? Because now you have content that you can break up and you can put on your social medias, you can put on your evergreen spaces like YouTube or in blog posts, or on your website if you want. So that's another bonus about it. And it's another way to just monetize something that you're doing and that you're giving away for free. It's like a value post, but it has a bigger reach, and it's longer lasting. And yeah, so, and then from it, you're building out all sorts of things. You're building out your email list, right? You're building out your know, like, and trust. You're giving that opportunity for upsells where maybe it's only a $30 upsell, but then, from there, then there's other upsells. There's other options that you can do, which is really super helpful for people who are trying to build out an income. Like we say all the time, passive income is not passive in the beginning. It's a process, and it takes a lot of work. Hi, puppers. Is it my time for my close-up?
You sure think so?
Yeah. So there's lots of ways to utilize that freebie. I know that you get told a lot to do one, but also recognizing that it's not just one format. Your freebie doesn't have to just be an ebook. If that's not your forte, if that's not how you present your information, then don't do it like that. For some people, they offer, it's like a mini challenge, right? Where you give that for free, and you can do it one-on-one. You can set it up so you're only going to work with 5 people, and one-on-one, you're going to do each day like one thing. So, it might take you in total, it might take you a bit of time, like 30 minutes a day. But if you do like 4 people, say, or 5 people, so you're going, 2.5 hours? So 2.5 hours a day, you do one-on-ones with people if you're in like consulting or something like that, in a mini challenge. Then you have the opportunity to really, because you've really showcased what you're capable of, what you're doing. That's a freebie. And in the end, you're going to, upsell them into something more. You can provide links and information and all that kind of stuff. So, it doesn't have to just be your PDF.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's where people get caught up a lot of times, is they think it's got to be an ebook. And it's like, And make sure your ebook is valuable. I see a lot of ebooks where it's the same story, the same information, the same, like, telling your story is great, but I feel like an ebook should have more value.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to put a little bit of effort into it, it can still be small, but it should be more focused than just, this is me and this is what I did. And yeah, you can too.
Yep. I totally agree. That about wraps it up, guys. Next week we are off.
Yeah.
But the week after that, we're going to talk about affiliate marketing on forums and discussion boards. So, strategies for ethical promotion, essentially, on these kind of platforms.
Which, is always a good thing. We're big on the whole, being an ethical human being, and especially when it comes to sales, because that can be challenging for some. Let's stay above board, people.
Yes.
All right. I think that's it. And that's all for this Friday. So if you found this helpful, please drop a comment, share, and hit that subscribe button. Your feedback is super helpful in growing this channel.
And of course, if you have any questions or if there's any specific thing that you would like us to talk about, drop that in the comments too. Happy Friday!
Happy Friday, everyone.